Hey guys, so I'm here at I'm actually in my car on beautiful Zuma Beach, Malibu, June gloom, perfect. And why am I in my car? Well, I have to be here. I have to sit here, and I figured this would be the perfect situation to take a little time and talk about something that I just got that I'm excited about. I was excited about it for a long time, and I just ordered it, just received it, and it's a cool thing. So this is the Espresso 17 Pro display. You can see it here. It is a 17-inch 4K beautiful display that also has touch and pen capabilities. I'm gonna link here. So why am I interested in this? This is pretty much the one display that is available for really portable use. Now I know that Wacom and there's a lot of Chinese displays that kind of do that as well. I've tried some Wacom displays. I haven't been 100% happy with them, simply because I always feel like those are made for illustrators, for people who really use the pen display to draw or something like that, which is really not what I use it for. I really like to have a touch display that is with pen capabilities, and I've obviously tried iPads. I've tried Sidecar, playing with that. iPad, as I think we all agree on, is amazing, fantastic if you watch Netflix or movies. To actually work on it with the iPad OS it's just frustrating to me. I can't do it. Using it with Sidecar with a laptop is okay, but it's not quite the same thing, and it doesn't really work that well. And the other thing is, it's a 13-inch display, which again, for drawing or stuff, it's good, it's great. Apple Pen is great, but it doesn't really give you the full, I don't know, 13 inches is a little limiting to me. So this thing is 4K 17 inch. You guys probably can't see this right now, but it's actually on. So what I'm gonna do is, I know that this doesn't look too bright. I have this calibrated. It also came, I got the package like with the stand and the pouch and the anti-reflective screen saver, which actually I haven't put on because this is reflective, but it actually looks really good to me. And right now I haven't needed it yet. And to be honest, I know this is hard to tell from the video because you guys can't really, you guys probably only see a reflection here. So when I calibrated this, I really thought, okay, as usual, you have to pretty much turn the brightness way down to be able to calibrate it. So this is, I think, of a third of the brightness. The official brightness is 450 nits, which doesn't seem that great on paper, but I'm probably using a third of that right here. And right now it's, I'm sitting in the car. It's 9 o'clock or something, 9:30. It's overcast. I can definitely work on this right here, right now. I have a glass roof coming through there. In the sun, I probably have to crank that brightness up a little bit. So brightness is not an issue for me at all on this, which is great. And again, awesome display, 4K, beautiful colors, calibrates really well. It looks great. Now, the first thing that you guys probably noticed, and this is one of the things that you know, I looked at a lot of videos of this, and I see people sitting in cafes, and you know, you have their laptop, and then they have the Espresso set up as a second screen. That's not how I want to use this at all, because realistically, to me, this is I kind of like to work on one screen. I know maybe, you know, whatever. Especially when I work on images, I like to work on one screen, which is why the 13-inch iPad doesn't really work for me. 17-inch, it looks great, it works great, gives me enough real estate, I see enough of it. I have my laptop here, actually in my bag, so I just have it plugged into the laptop. The laptop is in here. Now, if you want to use it with the MacBook Pro in a clamshell situation, you have to have extra power. So the portability goes from one cable to two cables, which is okay. It's not that great, but it's not really that big of an issue. The bigger issue is that really, if you want to use this a lot, it really sucks battery, even on the lower brightness that I'm using. This is I don't really know what size battery this is, but I think I can, yeah, I mean, it whips through batteries. So if you want to work for, I would say in this setup, I can probably get about 3 hours out of that big battery. And once that goes down, I would probably have to open up my laptop screen, and then I can work from just the laptop screen, but would have to sit open, and it would probably give me another hour and a half or something. So it's totally fine. And I guess the other thing is that without that extra battery, the total brightness is a little lower than with the battery, which again, for me, that's not really an issue, because I have the brightness turned down anyway because it's calibrated. So a lot of information there so far. The screen itself, like I said, this is, again, I saw this in videos. People have it set up as a second screen, you know, and then every now and then they touch that screen. That's not how I really work, and it's not really what I need it for. I wouldn't go to set up two screens at a cafe somewhere. And I honestly wouldn't set up two screens in my car here either. It's kind of, you know, I have the laptop in my bag, and I have this, you know, to work on. Now, the first thing, you know, this comes with a pen, which is magnetically attaches to the top. So the first thing that happened when I tried to set this all up here was that the pen slipped between the two chairs, you know, between the chairs and the crack there, and the endless abyss that exists in any car. And because it's magnetic, it actually stuck there. So it took me quite a while to get it out of there. It actually, strangely enough, I think it stuck better to the bottom of my car seat than it attaches to the top of the screen, which, again, it works. Now let's get into the screen. Like I said, 4K, great color. The screen is absolutely fantastic. I'm not sure I'm gonna put the matte cover on it, just because I'm not an illustrator, and I thought I would put it on. I usually do, but so far I think I like the glossy better. Those are, so far, if you think that I don't like this thing, I actually really do. I think it's great. There's a couple of drawbacks that, for example, the touch and pin functions are, I don't know if this depends on which app you work in. For example, it says that it automatically rotates from horizontal to vertical. Well, the screen rotates, but it only shows me half the screen in one app. In Photoshop, it doesn't really rotate at all. So I think it depends on what app you're using. Again, not really something I need. I don't really have to use it vertically, but that's kind of, they say it just pops into rotation. It doesn't really for me. The pen only has one button, which brings up in, if you use their Jot software, which is kind of like a notebook kind of software, it brings up a menu, a simple little menu. I have it set to bringing up like a right-click menu, or like a two finger click menu. Every now and then it does. I think I need to be a little more patient with it, maybe. So maybe it is more my issue with it, or my impatience with it. Every now and then it works. I was just like, having worked with Wacom tablets before, you click on it, boom, it just pops up. It's pretty straightforward. I mean, you click a button and it pops up. This doesn't really do it. I'm also supposed to be able to tap with one finger and then hold down two fingers to bring up the same menu. Doesn't do it for me either. Let me go back into the catalog here and let's see if it does it for me. Nope, doesn't do it. I've reinstalled my software drivers and everything. Now it worked. Again, so okay, I tried this like 3 times. On the 3rd time it worked when I kind of gave up on it. Yes. Now, for example, I'm working in a catalog. I'm opening up images. I'm working on the images. It works really well. Like, retouching works well. The pen, again, I wish I could dial the pen tip in a little more, to actually put it exactly where I want that pen to, like, the tip to go when I tap down on it. It seems like it's a little off from the angle that I work in, because it all depends on the angle that you work with. But that actually works well. Scrolling in, I'm not gonna put this pen up here because I don't want it to fall down there again and have to dig through it again. Scrolling works. Oh, what just happened? Let me get out of here, get back in here. Scrolling works pretty well, obviously, and this is not Espresso's issue here. It's more of a Mac issue. I'm working on a Mac. The Mac is not made for a touch display, really. I mean, I have big fingers. It's a little it's okay. All right. Oh, I tapped on this anyway. That was user mistake. So scrolling, no, that was, works well. Tapping on it, bringing it up. I've kind of realized that sometimes it's using 1 or 2 fingers to scroll and zoom. First I thought it was what the hell is going on here. I kind of figured out that I have to get used to it. It's not quite like an iPad. It's a little different. So that works well. One of the things that I wish it would have, and this is something that, especially working with files, obviously I come across situations where I need to enter text, and this is where this thing is obviously very much set up as a second display, as a 2 display setup. So I have my laptop sitting there open, and then I just go over and type in whatever the file name or save as or something like that, shortcuts. Obviously I don't have this here, so that's where, like, being able to have a little bit of a like a menu that just pops up, or that it can quickly access with touch or with the pen, would come in really handy. Or like a pop-up keyboard, even just a quick thing, you know, because I don't really, I'm not going to type emails on this, although if there was an email down there, like I would go into email, and then just like on the iPad, and you know, a keyboard pops up, yeah, it'd be great to have that option. But I don't really need it in every single app, because like I said, you know, I'm in Photoshop, I just want to save a file, I just want to do a quick name change or something like that, or add a number, or add some, you know, something to the file name. So that would be great. So all in all, is this something, I'm a little torn with it, because like I said, I got it, I set it up, it was a little much. It's not an iPad. I don't mind the cables, it's not really a big issue. I've kind of started to work differently at the office when I sit down, because I have a big 32-inch screen, which is great monitor. I think that the colors on this are actually better. I think this is actually the better screen than it's a slightly older LG graphic monitor. It's a great monitor, but when I look at this, I think this might be the better monitor. And obviously at my desk, I have my laptop set up, and I can just work with a really long USB cable. I can sit wherever I want. Again, at that point, I always do want to add a little bit of text. Maybe it's just a couple of letters or something, you know, then I have to get up. So like I said, I wish I would have that option there. It's really well made. I mean, it's beautiful. It's great. It seems to be, yeah, the screen is really good. There's nothing about it from a hardware standpoint that I would have any drawbacks. Like I said, the pen, and I kind of I want to talk to them about this, if I could use different pens. This pen seems a little limiting to me, but it's probably limited by the software connection with the display itself. So even if I got a pen with more buttons or something, it probably wouldn't work. It also doesn't charge like the Apple Pen when you pop it to the top of the display. So having that magnetic connection to the top of the display is great. Again, it's fallen off in between my seats here. It's fallen off in my bag and got kind of lost in there. And it doesn't charge itself. It's USB-C. It's not that hard. I'm sure it stays charged forever. Not a big deal. So this thing is not cheap. I'm kind of waiting to hear back from Espresso about a couple of questions that I had about the product and functionality. The more I work with it, the better I get to know it, and the better I get to know the touch functions. It's not an iPad. It's different. Would I want a 17-inch iPad at this point? I never thought I did. Now I probably would say yes, I do. Okay, so now it flipped. The image just flipped. Oh, here we go. It flipped back. Yeah. Again, I love iPads. They're awesome. This is not an iPad, and I'm glad it isn't, because I've tried to do the same thing with iPads. Even if it's wireless sidecar, blah blah blah, it's not the same thing. It just isn't, unfortunately. It doesn't seem to work as well for what I need to do it with. And again, there's a big difference between a 13-inch and a 17-inch display, especially when it comes to photos and retouching. And I would say that this is the minimum size. I've looked at some of the there's some 24-inch offerings. Obviously those are not portable at all. the portability of this, I know this kind of sounds crazy because I have this, I have this battery here, and I have 2 cables, and I have my laptop. But honestly, that's really not that big of a deal. I can sit here, I can move around. The cables are in there. I would probably get different cables a little longer. So that's not a problem. Yes, I have to say, overall, I think this is a keeper. Just because it kind of hits all the spots. I have to see, like I said, I'm not a big fan of working with 2 or even 3 screens like other people are. I kind of like to work with 1 screen. Maybe I'll put up another screen to watch a show or watch some YouTube videos or something like next to it. But in general, I usually work on 1 screen. I don't use 2 screens to pull, windows from this screen to this screen and stuff. So, and I was thinking about maybe working on this screen and then having the same image, like a second screen on my big screen, to show a bigger version of the same file or something like that. I don't think I'm going to do this because this screen is actually even calibrated and everything. This screen looks better than my other screen. So it's kind of, I hate that when it doesn't look exactly the same. So that's not really the fault of Espresso that they make a better screen than the one I have. So obviously you also have to be careful when using MacBooks and everything, because when they say you can have 2 screens, that means they can use the internal and 1 external. You can't close your internal screen and use 2 external screens. Then you would need one that can do 3 screens, which is, I believe at this point, the M3 MacBook Pro. Maybe some Airbooks can, some of those can do it. So if you would want to use like the 2 external screens on the Air or on the MacBook in general, you would need I think the M3. Even if you use 2 externals. So anyway, it is great. It has some limitations that I think some of them are probably my limitations. Maybe not having worked with pen displays that much. I think some of them are some software related issues that they can probably improve on. This is also a there aren't that many 4K touch screens out there. That's obviously a little bit of a limitation, because there's a lot of stuff going on here, and this is a pretty new display as far as I know. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to come out with software solutions to make this better. So sorry about the fans going, but I came back from the beach. It's really nice, cool at the beach, even in my car. To get here, and it's nice and toasty, so I gotta get the fans going and everything. So sorry about the noise. Sorry about the shininess. So anyway, just wanted to kind of figured I'd give you guys also an idea of what this thing actually looks like and feels like in a studio, or at the desk. And obviously this would be the setup. Laptop, like I said, if I close this, I don't have an image on here. Now this is the stand, and a lot of times when they show this, this is shown as, get the stand off here, and the stand is great. Don't get me wrong, this is the stand. It just pops right on here, which is great. And then remember what I said about the rotating screen. So in Safari, I can rotate the screen, and then I get a vertical screen, but I don't need a vertical screen in Safari. I need a vertical screen in Photoshop or in image manipulation apps, where right now for me it doesn't really work. So this would be the 2 screen setup, which again, it's okay. I don't really, you know, if I have this sitting in front of me, this sitting here, having this as a second screen, it's not really, then I don't really need a touch or pin screen for me. So ideally I would like to put this off to the side, even close it, you know, clamshell, but then I can't, you know, then I would have to get extra power for this. And ideally the way I like to work with, you know, for retouching, obviously I'm not gonna retouch like this. I don't know, that doesn't make any sense to me. So the way I would work on this would be, and again, this is really great. You just fold this down. There's a little flap in the back here. You just tilt up, so you have a little bit of like a kickstand. And this would be the way to work on this, right? And this is actually the perfect size for it, I have to say. Again, laptop is open right here. I can do a little bit of typing. I have a trackpad. I would probably prefer at that point to have a keyboard and maybe a trackpad. So as you can tell, we're not really, you know, laptop, this thing, keyboard, trackpad. Again, I don't have to have the keyboard and trackpad because I can just use my laptop with that. But like I said, I don't, you know, I can't really type over here when I have 2 screens set up. And having 2 screens set up, laptop over here doesn't really work. And this would be the way, this is the way I would want to work on this. I feel like that's the best way. Yeah, so again, it works the same way here. I have a huge skylight up there that's getting a little bit of glare right here now, so I would have to tilt this a little. I'm usually not sitting here. I'm usually sitting over there where this is not an issue. Like I said, the monitor itself is absolutely fantastic. It's great. The touch, you know, is the same as you swipe up, and you can, I have to tap on this to make it, I guess that's the way it works. You kind of tap on it, then it knows what you want to work with. So if I have a side thing, you know, now I can scroll around, now I can zoom in. Yeah, looks great, works great. Pen works great. It's a great thing. The other ones that I looked at, the 24-inch, I think for actually working like that would actually be too big for me. I think this 17 is just the right size. It's big enough where I can see big images, and it's, yeah. Just wanted to show you guys. So this is, I'm working in Neo, Luminar Neo right now. And obviously this is the image. So if I rotate this way to make it horizontal, see, it gives me half an image on top. Boom. Maybe you guys can see that now. You guys just getting the reflection there. So that's kind of weird. I have an email into them to see what's going on. I'm pretty sure they're working on getting it to work in other apps as well. In Photoshop it doesn't work at all. It just stays horizontal. So anyway, just wanted to show you guys that's the setup. Like I said, I really like it. I think I'm gonna keep it. So, all right, thanks.